In 1658, the settlers who arrived here from England to found the town of Billerica founded this congregation and built the meeting houses of First Parish Church on land lived and stewarded by the Pawtucket and Massachusetts peoples of the Wabanaki nations. We wish to acknowledge their spiritual and physical connection to the land, water, flora, and fauna here. We recognize the role our own First Parish Church played in their removal or first forced Christianization in the founding of this town and the hardships they continue to endure after the loss of unceded homelands. As a covenantal community, we commit to fostering relationships and opportunities that strengthen the well-being of the Indigenous people who carry forward the traditions of their ancestors here and everywhere. Let us worship together. Please rise in body or in spirit and form a circle around our sanctuary. I know that sounds like a really cool, awesome thing, right? So we'll form a nice circle, we'll get to see each other. Try to space yourselves out about equal around the center here, all the way around. Take your orders of service with you too. I should have said that up front. So we'll form a circle so that we can all connect. So let's spread out so we have an equal number almost all the way around, because I'm going to pass this all the way around. So in your order of service, you should see something called the call to gather. It'll be inside your insert right here. So this centerpiece right here, I'm going to say that everyone that is on this side is the right side. Everyone that is from here on this side is on the left side. Right side, left side. All right? So if you're on the left side, that's this side, you'll say the L. If you're on the right side, you'll say the R. If you're in the circle at all or in the sanctuary at all, we'll say all. I will start the left side off together. In the first glimmers of morning, the world begins to take shape. First, vague outlines, patterns of light and dark, then colors, sun branches of trees and withered winter grass. The brightening sky fades a familiar landscape, glows as it sweetly reveals itself. Blessed morning. Oh, to have another day, to wake from whatever night thoughts dwell within. To rise and have the world unfold before us. Where the possible unwinds into the actual. Where dreams await their fulfilling. Where we meet once again to live into the hope that gathers. Blessed morning. So please remain arisen in body and spirit in this circle as we sing together our ingathering chant, gathered here. As we sing it, the candle that will light our chalice will make a circle around the sanctuary. It's a slow process because it is a flame. Each of us is responsible for carrying. We'll sing the chant, we'll hear the chant played once through, and then we'll sing it as many times as it takes to go around the circle. Hand it to him. Jim. Gathered here in the mystery of this hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour. Gathered here in one strong body. Gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour. Gathered here in one strong body. Gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour. Gathered here in one strong body. Gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near. Spirit, draw near. Spirit, draw near. Let us say the words for the chalice lighting prayer found in your order of service. I will say the regular words if you'll say the italicized. In times of darkness, we stumble toward the tiny flame.
In times of cold, we seek the warming fire.
In times of repression, we reach for the lamp of truth.
In times of loss, we crave the comforting light.
In times of joy, we light a candle of celebration. Spirit of life, as we kindle this light, help us find what we need this day. Now let us renew our covenant together, saying the affirmation of faith under renewing our covenant in the order of service. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest of truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humanity in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other and with God. You may be seated, unless you are Lisa O'Connor, Bethany, Ida, or Joyce. Yeah. So come on up here. Yeah. So come on up. Voice 1 is Bethany, so you want to come on up here. Voice 2 is Lisa, and then Ida, and then Joyce. So you can pass the microphones from there. You'll start right here.
Right now, or are you going to give us a cue?
Yep, you can go ahead.
All right. Hear the words of the star goddess, the dust of whose feet are the hosts of heaven, whose body encircles the universe.
I, who am the beauty of the green earth and the white moon, among the stars and the mysteries of the waters, I call upon your soul to arise and come unto me, for I am the soul of nature that gives life to the universe. From me all things proceed, and unto me they must return.
Let my worship be in the heart that rejoices, for behold, all acts of love and pleasure are my rituals. I'm nervous.
You got this.
Let there be beauty and strength, power and compassion, honor and humility, myth of reason within you.
And you who seek to know me, know that your seeking and yearning will avail you not, unless you know the mystery. For if that which you seek, you find not within yourself, You will never find it without.
Together.
For behold, I have been there with you from the beginning, and I am that which is attained at the end of desire.
Thank you. Let us now rise in body or in spirit as we sing our hymn of invocation, Spirit of Life, number 123, in Singing the Living Tradition. That's the gray hymnal. Jody will play it through once, and then we'll sing it once together. So I have some fun stuff today. One of the things I'm planning on doing is making a huge mess. Sorry, Bob. I'm so sorry. I will help clean it up. I know. I'm so sorry. I already started making a mess. Anyone knows what this is? Bob's already, I'm so sorry. I really will help clean it up. I took the day off so I can help clean it up. So this here is called raffia. It's a fun crafting material grown in Madagascar, believe it or not. That's the most common source of it. It is fast growing, fast drying, and fun to play with. So why are we going to be playing with raffia today? Let's start with a little bit of lore for the season. I think that is a good place for us to start. This is the season of the waxing light. Who knows what waxing means? Getting bigger. It's getting bigger. Have you noticed the light getting bigger? There's more light coming, right? Are you seeing more light? Are you seeing more light? Yeah. And of course, Sarah mentioned during Joys and Concerns, we're also seeing seeds coming. People are starting to sell the seeds that we're going to grow our very successful gardens this year. Everyone will have successful gardens this year. There's a lot of other signs coming too, that things are a little different now than they were just about a couple weeks ago. Of course, we know that it's been a little bit of a weird winter. The snow only showed up last week and a little bit a few weeks before that. But this is the time when the Earth's tilt is taking us back toward the sun. As our planet goes around the sun, it's tilted against it. And so when we are in winter, the tilt is away from the sun. Our part of the Earth's away from the sun's great light. Even though we're the closest to the sun that we're at all year in the winter, we are actually colder because we're tilted away. Then in the summer, our planet continues to go around and is tilted toward the sun. That's why we get more light. We get more warmth that way. Can you imagine when we are in the summertime, we're the furthest away from the planet. Our planet is the furthest away from the sun at the summer solstice than it's going to be for the whole year. And it's hot. It's like, why? Can you imagine how much hotter it would be if we were actually at the closest point at the summer solstice? I'm really glad we're not. I think 100 degrees is already too much. Of course, the seed of light was reborn at the winter solstice. We sing, the light is returning. It's the darkest night of the year, the longest night of the year. And we all took part in helping that flame rise up at the winter solstice ritual. And you know, some of us practice Christmas. We celebrate Christmas. Some celebrate Hanukkah. All holidays about light at that very dark time of year. I want to talk about someone in particular. Every time I see the days getting longer and the days are growing longer and the nights are growing shorter and there's more light, I start thinking about one particular person who is important to me because she may have been the first time I'd ever heard of a goddess's name as a little kid. Has anyone ever heard the name Bridget before? Yeah, I bet. So when you hear Bridget, maybe you have a friend named Bridget. Who has a friend named Bridget? I have a friend named Bridget, yeah? It's really cool, isn't it? Well, Bridget, it may be one of the most ancient names on earth. Did you know that? It may be one of the most ancient names on earth. It may have been one of the first names ever given to a human being in Europe. The name appears all over Europe, even before the Christianization of Europe. So you start wondering, who is this Bridget? So in the ancient days, this was a feast of the goddess of the keeper of the flame. She was the keeper of the flame, Bridget. So there's red everywhere on the altar today, and there's candles. And Brita bought these new candles for the altar, so I put them on the altar because one of the things that Bridget is known to do is bless your candles for the year. So all the candles that we're going to use, well, probably not for the whole year, but representing the candles we use for the year are up on the altar. So to be blessed, because she is the keeper of the flame. She is also a person, as a goddess in the Celtic land, she is believed to also be the goddess of all of the wells in Ireland. And so we have some water here from our ingathering. That's like our well here. You know, at the beginning of the church here, we pour water in the cups. We take our cups and put in the bowl. Well, this is all boiled and filtered by Sarah. This actually goes all the way back to 2015. The water every year gets added to this jar. A little bit of it so that we keep it. So it is our holy water, but it's also our well. It's a well that Bridget is protecting for us. She also is the mother of the spring. She gives birth to the springtime. So, a few more things about her. I like to see her as the urge to become. You ever have an idea and you're like, I really want to do this idea? You're like, I'm inspired. This is a great idea. Who has had a great idea recently that they haven't done anything about yet? Probably many of us, right? Yeah. Well, this is the time to say, Bridget, I have this idea and I want some inspiration to make it happen. So that inspiration, that urge to do something, well, the Celts, the ancient Celtic peoples believed that came from Bridget. So Bridget, these days, I want to give you a couple more things, and then I have a really cool book I want to read, and then we're going to make some really cool things. So I'll start with saying that Bridget, right now, most people have heard of her as the Celtic saint of the Catholic Church. She is one of the patron, I like to say matron, saints of Ireland. That is one of the things that she is known for today. Bridget of Kildare. However, for 1,500 years before she was named a saint, there were wells and altars and places all over Ireland, not even just Ireland though, all over Britain, all over Brittany. Are you seeing where I'm going with this? Bridget and Brittany and Britain and Brigantia. We are talking about a goddess who inspired nations to name themselves after her. It is believed that Britain is named after Bridget. It is believed that Brittany, which was now mostly where France is set up, was named after Bridget. Now, why would France have anything to do with anything in the Celtic lands? Well, we won't go into a big Roman Empire lecture today, but let's just say the Celts, the Gauls, ended up in the Isles, and the Romans got what we now know as France, Gaul. During that time, all these pagan gods and goddesses were made into saints by the Catholic Church to get the locals to believe the Catholic Church was the one true church. Well, that's okay, because you know what? I know plenty of Catholics who see the goddess in the Mother Mary and see the goddess in Bridget too. And I'm okay, as long as the feminine divine is still honored, okay, the Catholics can also have her too. So the name Britain is a derivation of Bridget's name. named after the Celtic tribe, the Brigantes. They worshipped Bridget in the pre-Roman times. Then, of course, there was a tribe that came from the area of Bregenz in Austria. Bregenz also worshipped Bridget. The word brigand came from that, from her name as well. There are Bridget place names found in Scotland, England, Wales, Ireland, France, Spain, Austria, Norway, and Sweden. She was seen as a motherly figure with big red hair. She was called the fiery arrow, the bright one, and the high one. She is still worshipped today by people who believe in Druidic paganism. She is still honored today in mythological stories. And she is still today, I think she is still today more than just a matron saint of Ireland. I think she may be the matron saint of us all today, the inspiration we need to light a fire of hope for our world right now. And so, in honor of the goddess Bridget, we're going to do some of the fun things that the ancients did. When you celebrate Imbolc, so this holiday in the Celtic lands was called Imbolc or Oimelc, depending on the Celtic or Gaelic pronunciation you're looking at. They had many different things they would do. One of the things that people would do is they would make these things called Bridget's crosses. They looked nothing like the Christian cross. They were these kind of off-centered crosses. They're really beautiful. I don't know that I have a picture of one here. I wish I did. I actually probably have one in this book, in one of these two books. Nope, I got it right here. Found it. So this is what a Bridget's cross looks like. And I actually have one that I sometimes like to wear. It's a really cool little thing. You've probably seen them. I used to see them a lot in Billerica, right around this time of year, among older Catholics, Irish Catholic doors. And they would put it up, and you would take the old one down and burn it, and you put the new one up. I know some Irish Catholics who actually make them out of the palms on Palm Sunday, which I think is a cool thing as well. One of the other things that they did was they would make a little dolly out of straw. And they would make a little doll, a Bridget doll, a doll of Bridget. And they would put it in their home near their hearth. What's a hearth? It's an old-fashioned word these days. Anyone know hearth amongst the kids in particular? It's okay if you don't. How about the big kids? Fireplace. That's right, the fireplace. So if you have a thermostat, that's where I put mine. You know, I like to joke that if I have to turn a thermostat up at work, that I'm putting another log on the fire, so might as well. So I have a cool little book here called Luna's Bridget Doll. If the kids want to join me up here in this first pew, you're welcome to come on up so you can see the pictures better, but I'll make sure everyone gets to see the pictures. So, this book is called Luna's Bridget Doll, and it is by May Corbin. Hi, I'm Luna, and today is super special because it's Imbolc. So Imbolc, that Celtic word I mentioned earlier, that Celtic word means in the belly. Why do you think in the belly? Because spring is about to be given birth to by our earth. And of course, I mentioned the calves. It was a time for sheep to be born. Imbolc is halfway between the winter solstice and the spring equinox. So here's that circle right there, the spring equinox and the winter solstice. We start the day by doing something truly magical, making my Bridget corn doll. Ours is raffia. I did not save corn from this fall. But that's not a bad idea because that's more local. And then I don't have to get things from Madagascar. My dad brings out the corn husks we saved from the fall and soaks them in warm water. So since he's taking out the corn husks now and getting them ready, could I get 2 volunteers to come up and meet me, one on either side over here, to help do the same thing? Everyone should get about this much of the raffia. Don't worry about making a big mess. I will help clean it up. Yeah. Thank you both. I eagerly get the other ingredients, some yarn, ribbons, and a handful of cotton balls. So those are things you'll get to decorate your dollies with back home. Maybe some lavender flowers too. Purple is my favorite color after all. My dad helps me fold the husks and stuff them with cotton to make my doll's body. We tie a neck, wrist, and waist with thread to keep her together, and we'll pass those out shortly too. And for the final touch, flowers and a hat. Now, I have a little hat that I bought at a crafts store some years ago that I've put on my old Bridget's doll, but I actually haven't made a Bridget's doll in a little while. And I probably wouldn't have made one this year if it wasn't for my friend Brita. I do everything with my dolly. We braid some bread and we watch it bake. We go to our winter garden and make flower crowns. We gather leftover snow and surprise unsuspecting snowmen. We sit and make Bridget's crosses. So in the book, they're also making some of Bridget's crosses. Thank you, Allison. Thank you, Lisa. Make sure to take some for yourself. Okay, good. We meditate and make the smoke dance. So they're making the smoke dance from their incense. And we tell tales of 2 infamous heroes, Luna and Birdie, who she calls her doll. Then, long after the sun sets, we get ourselves ready to sleep. So they're getting themselves ready to sleep for Imbolc. I tuck my Bridget Birdie on her very own bed. So some traditions have a little bed that you can put next to your bed for kids, for your Bridget doll. Most families use the hearth, but if you have a doll house, that's really cool too. Or if you have a little basket, and then say goodbye, at least until tomorrow. And so Imbolc is coming in just a couple of days. The exact midpoint is in 3 days between the Winter Solstice and the Spring Equinox. So we just learned how Luna's Bridget doll is made. We're gonna make one together today. So I have a few of these. We have a few, let's see. Can I get another group of volunteers, 2 volunteers, to pass out ropes to everybody? Brita, thanks. So they're kind of just tied together in a loop. Each loop is one person. There should be four in each loop. So there should be 4 of these in each loop if you want to pass out the loops. Thanks. So while the loops are being passed around, I'm going to get myself some string here and cut it. Now that string is hemp rope. I mention in case people have allergies to things, I just want to make sure people know what the ingredients are and stuff. No, but sometimes people can have just by touching things. I get worried. I'm easily worried. So we're going to take whatever amount of raffia you have, and we're going to split it in 2 pieces, 2 chunks. Do we need more rope? Yeah. How much more? Check with Bethany, because she may have enough. And thank you to Erin for cutting the rope for us. So does everyone have a little bit of the raffia? So take however much you have and put it into 2 chunks. So you have about the same amount in each hand. More raffia? Sure, yeah. And if anyone needs more raffia, we have, gosh darn, plenty of it. Do you need some raffia? Yeah, just grab it. So we're going to take one of them and put them down next to us. We're going to take the other one and we're going to fold it in half, just like this. And then I like to twist it a little bit, just to make sure it holds its shape. Now, with the other amount, you can put this down if you want for a moment. The other amount, you want to do the same thing. You may want to do it in half, or you may want to do it in thirds, depending on how long you have of raffia. 2 different lengths here. Then you take the other one you just folded in half. I can slow down. Please tell me to slow down if you need me to slow down. So once you have one folded up into halves or thirds, and one folded directly in half, all right, then we take the one that was the one that we're holding that's not the first one, the second one, and we put it underneath the fold of the first one. Just like that. And those become the arms of the doll. Yep, it makes kind of a cross. Yep. You should have 4 pieces of string, 4 pieces of the hemp rope. So if you need to, you can lie it down for a moment. Not what I did, and actually put it flat. And what you want to do is tie a head, and I'll show you what I'm doing here. You want to tie one of the ropes over the tops of the arms, like this, to create a head. Mm-hmm. And then you tie this rope right here, the top rope, yep, to make a head. You have to untie them. They're just kind of lightly tied together so they don't fall out. Yep. There you go. Perfect. Yeah. So once you have that top one nice and tight, put one underneath the arms the same way. So what you end up with looks like this. You having fun? So it should look something like this. There should be a tie at the top, making the head, and a tie underneath the arms, making the separating the arms from the head, like this. I'll bring it around. Yeah, just like that. Yep. And then there's 2 more pieces of rope. So this is what they look like. There's a rope at the top and a rope at the bottom. All right. And then you can take the other 2 pieces of rope and tie them just like you did here and here, here and here on the arms to make the arms stay. Just like that. Yep, around each arm. That just helps secure them. If you're used to crafting, you might have a different way, and that's cool too. The idea is basically to make it look like a doll. All right. So it should come out looking something like this. That's okay. The intention is what matters. So I'm going to pass mine around. Yeah. Yep, just like that. Yours look really nice. I like yours. Yours is the best. Yeah, well done. Cool. I hear laughing. Yes. So now that you have your dolly that looks something like this, hold it for a moment. And even if it's not quite done yet, you can keep working on it. And this doll represents the intentions of this year. So put it somewhere safe. Next year, this is something that you can use to burn in your in-bulk fire, or if the thing that you're asking the doll to help you make happen in this year already happens, you can do a ceremony, a burning ceremony for that if you like. Remember, Bridget is a goddess of fire. And so that is what you do with the corn doll at the very end when you're done with the corn doll, or the Bridget's doll. Everyone has one? Cool. All right. Anyone who's finished, you want to raise it up for a moment? Yeah. Perfect. Those are all beautiful. Amazing. Hey, that's okay. You can trim it up at home if you want. You can add a little hat, add little decorations to it. However you want to do up your Bridget stall. You can place it near the thermostat, place it at the front of your house. If you have a hearth, you can put it up on the mantle of your fireplace. And so as we continue to make our Bridget dolls, we're going to say our litany for Imbolc. So that was our embodied meditation. This is a way for us to celebrate Imbolc together. The litany for Imbolc is found in your order of service. The words are by Jill Yarnall. I'll read the regular text if you'll read the italicized text. So the skies rumbled and the snows came. Came women gathering to pray. They gathered seeds and prepared them for planting. And they celebrated the lambing of the first ewe. And when through the earth felt the stirring, in the dark, wet soil, you can smell the work still. The north wind carries their song across the snow as the earth prepares for spring. And to sing praises for the green earth. Our Unitarian Universalist churches are self-supporting. The gifts of time, energy, and money help to sustain the work of this congregation's social justice work, to keep the building going, to bring speakers, to pay our minister, to pay our administrator, and to do all the amazing ministries that our church is part of. The morning's offering will now be greatly received and blessed for the work of this congregation. Please rise in body or in spirit for our doxology. Please note the change in words. I we praise as we all celebrate these days in which you dost prepare the earth for the vernal springs of rebirth. Amen. We bless these gifts to the work of this congregation, so may it be. Please remain arisen in body or in spirit. As we extinguish the chalice, you'll find the words in your order of service. I'll say the regular, if you'll say the italicized. Blessed is the light into which we awake, the light that sparkles on the waters, that calls the tree forth from the seed and calls the shadow forth from the tree.
Blessed is the dark in which our dreams stir and are revealed. Blessed is the dark of earth where it seeks unto light. Blessed are the depths of the ocean where no light shimmers. The warm wall of the river.
Blessed are we as we move through darkness and through light. As we prepare to leave this holy place, let us with joy claim the growing light as we remain arisen in body or in spirit to sing our hymn for the journey, number 345 in the gray hymnal. Our congregation has a tradition of facing outward as we sing our last hymn in the spirit of going forth to live our religion. With joy we claim the growing light, advancing thought and widening view, the larger freedom, clearer sight, which from the old unfold the new. With wider view come loftier goals, with fuller light, more good to see. Freedom, truer self-control, with knowledge deeper remedy. Go in peace, go in freedom. Go with the knowledge that we have the power to light the flames of hope, now and in the growing light. So may it be. Amen. Live long and prosper.